Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Project Bring Me Life podcast, talking about the spiritual awakening, metaphysics, and holistic health with artists, musicians, guides, writers, healers, and supporters. So please join us. Wake up and shine on.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Project Bring Me Life podcast, show, whatever you want to call it. I have my wonderful co-host, Shintezik Shan.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing, it's been crazy, a lot of crazy things. I'm sure everybody understands how crazy it's been lately.
Yes.
And so, let's just go ahead and get into our meditation to begin the show, because it is crazy. So we all just sort of let everything go, just get relaxed, sit back, close your eyes if you feel comfortable with that, and just sort of let go of any worries, let go of any problems that are surrounding you, let go of any stress or any anxiety, and just come to the breath. Just know that you are alive. Know that you're breathing. Know that your heart is beating. And that everything is going to be okay. We are surrounded by love and compassion. And so let's just focus on this love and compassion for just a second. We're all going through a very busy time in our lives, a very crazy transition or shift in our lives. So it's good to become aware of our breath. It's good to become aware of our sensations in our body so that we can take care of ourselves. So just take a deep breath in and just letting everything go. Letting all that weight drop off your shoulders. We're all here together. That's what's important. So if you had your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your neck. And welcome to the show. So today we have a very special guest, and we're very honored and very excited. So, welcome to the show, Jordan.
Hello.
It's well, we are very excited to have you on finally. And first off, thank you for letting us play your song on the radio show last night.
I'm so glad that you did.
Yes, the tree and the caterpillar.
That's awesome.
Yes,
It was really fun having a radio show. Even though you were mostly in charge of it, it was cool just being there.
Yeah, it was interesting because we got a job at this photo shop, and it was about 5:30, and we're like, I have a show in half an hour, we got to get home. So we rushed back with 10 minutes left, and it worked out. So, we're like I said, we're all going through this busy time in our lives, but we always like to start off with, yes, we like to start off with music. That is correct. Does your cat play music?
This is my musical cat, yes.
That's awesome.
That's how he talks. Just
That's beautiful. I like
it.
that. So we just like to ask people, who they are. Give us a little bit of a background of what you do and who you are and what you love to do.
Well, my name is Jordan Cody. I'm from Oklahoma originally. Um, my mission is to bring the universal love and light, anchor it in hopefully all my endeavors, and to just explore the breadth and depth of reality and connect with, find people, and create beautiful, good movement.
Yeah, for sure. One reason that I really started podcasting was because I was going through this awakening, this sort of spiritual, like, whoa, this stuff's all coming back, and I really felt like a lot of people were going through that too, and I wanted to sort of get everybody's story on it. Was there any sort of like time in your life that you had what you may call an awakening?
Oh, it's a journey. I feel like it's always constantly becoming more awake and in tune and aware. The synchronicities and everything that's happening around us. But when it started, honestly, I'd almost have to say it kind of corresponded with when I started going to festivals, I think. Really gave me like an appreciation for life and music and people and nature.
What was your first festival that you remember going to?
My first music festival, I was 15 or 16. I still lived in Oklahoma at the time. And there was this festival called Schwagstock in Missouri. And we would all, yeah, it sounds dumb, but it was on the land. The land was what made it. At that time, I didn't even really care about the music.
Yeah.
It was just about the experience and the drugs and the people and the spiritual experience. And this property that it was on was so beautiful. There's like this crystal clear river that ran along. It was like a valley, and on one and the river ran along the bottom. And on one side of the river, it was like a rock wall and trees. Beautiful, just bright green trees. They're all so lush from all the fog that would roll in like every morning with the sunrise. And on the other side of the river was where all the camping and the stages were, and it was all rocks and beautiful foliage, and it was just an amazing place. And yes, lots of exploring.
Yeah.
Consciousness.
And were any of these drugs that you mentioned psychedelic?
Mostly.
You have an experience that really sort of like shook you or shifted your vibration?
Most of them. That first one that at the festival really jarred me, though. It really made me realize how connected we all are and how powerful we all are. That we can definitely do some amazing things together.
For sure. I think those first experiences are always the make or break it for people in their divine paths. Like once they realize they can be part of a bigger thing that just not only helps them but everyone around them, it really kind of like gives people a push in the right direction, I think. And festivals are really good for doing that. I know I definitely found myself at one of my first festivals, so it's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like festivals have come a long way since then, in the last 10 years, to be more of a spiritual experience, and people are coming more seeking that and open to that.
For sure, definitely. There's definitely a lot more transformational festivals now, and I like that they kind of separate themselves from like the rave scene or some of the other scenes, which necessarily aren't bad, but there's definitely different paths. There's people that want to go and party, and then there's people that want to go and have a transformation in themselves and with others and experience that. And there's been a lot of like big shifts with the festival community lately. You can definitely see like the breaking point, who wants to change the world and who wants to just party.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can have that spiritual experience anywhere. It's bound to happen, but when you go into it, if that's like the intention, it's just that much crazier, that much more synchronistic, beautiful things happening everywhere you look.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember my first festival was actually 3 Days of Light, and you know, it was amazing to see so many people just like really, really serious about wanting to sort of, you know, just improve themselves, improve their spirit and their body and their minds. And it was, you know, the first time I actually came in contact with people that I felt, you know, were going on the same path or the same journey that I was.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about at Schwagstock, you sort of got that.
3 Days of Light.
What's that?
A little bit different than 3 Days of Light.
I could imagine, but you did say that you sort of got that feeling that everybody was connected. I was wondering if you could get a little bit more detailed about this, like what did it feel like? What was the experience when you were like, wow, we're all connected?
Well, I feel like I've always had like in my mind, I always hear things. I hear music, or I hear usually music, or I kind of feel like I hear people sometimes, like when we're having like an intense moment. It's like, you know, when you don't even have to talk to somebody sometimes. And the first festival I went to, I was really just like an explosion of that, you know. I was like in a very, you know, vulnerable, like sensitive state, you know, just pushing it, getting real out there, and it was like this web, you know. It was like I could hear people. I could really hear everything that was going on around me, and hear those people, and almost like feel the reactions to me and my thoughts, and just really begin to feel those ripples. See how we're all one, and how we're all here, like really doing the same thing more than we could ever understand or realize.
Yeah. And were you making music before this point?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been musically minded. At that point in life, I was more like into metal, and I mean, I was still a very spiritual person, so it was like still coming from that perspective, but it was more of like I was more frustrated and kind of angry at that point in my life, because I was pretty awake already and not really seeing anybody else that was, you know, or realizing what to do about it, or like mostly just in my awareness seeing the problems that we've created, and not seeing the amazing potential of solutions that we have. So like the music that I was into at that time was more heavy and dark and yelling at people to wake the fuck up.
Yeah, you said you were already pretty spiritual. When did you start spirituality? Like, were you born into a family like myself, I was born into a family of Christians.
I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
So there was that, but it always, I don't know, I feel like just my whole life I felt a connection to the source, and like just knew kind of what I was here to do, to like anchor that and build that with people. But let's see, when I really started being super spiritual and realizing kind of that there was a path, a spiritual path that had been forged by other humans before me. When I was about 14, and I started reading like weird occult stuff, like ritual magic stuff, about like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and ancient Egypt and stuff like that.
What did you find? Was there any differences that really stood out between ancient Egypt and Catholic and the Catholic religion?
It was mostly kind of just like the attitude, I felt like my main schism with Catholicism that kind of woke me up and separated me from mainstream consciousness was just realizing the judgment, involved. And that's just not going to get us anywhere. We're all in this together, and the only way we're going to evolve and move forward is together.
Yeah.
And that's with love,
For
and
sure.
acceptance.
For sure. That's something that I've personally been working really hard on, is, especially when you get to a certain point in your path and you feel like you are enlightened, and then you look at these other people and you're like, oh, they're still doing this and still doing that, and they're like so much slower, and that's something that I found is not good to do at all.
Yeah, I mean, it can be hard, but you have to just like accept and be aware of where other people are at, and like understand that that's just where they're at in their journey, and like how can we just like let's get all together and move forward.
Yeah, sure. How do you think your music is something that sort of helps you get that message out there to those people who are sort of still in that lower vibration?
I hope so, man. I hope so, because I mean, I just like, for the most part, I just like to make music that's like really fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about music. I think mostly. I mean, I love so much about music. The intensity and the weirdness and everything. But I just think nothing, for me at least, can make me smile and dance and just get crazy and open, and I just hope that it can bring that raw emotion to other people wherever they're at in their journey.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like music is one thing that everybody, no matter what, can find some sort of connection with, or sort of relate to each other with. You play a beat, and it could be Christians and Muslims and Jewish people all dancing, but none of them, while they're dancing, they don't think about that stuff.
Right.
Very moved. It's like we've had several musicians talk about how like it's like this magical feeling, like mind control almost, when you can just take a whole crowd of people that were once sitting still and barely talking to each other, and then you have like all these people just like dancing or bopping their heads and like getting into it, and they just like lose those boundaries, and the grid just kind of like falls away.
I'll be right back.
Music is definitely a really interesting way to connect with people, and I really enjoy it. I wish I was a more musical person. Stuck on the art side.
Well, I mean, art and music both go together very beautifully. And they're both very important, and it's something why here at Project Bring Me Life we focus on music and art, because it's so key to, I believe, to the new age or to the new world that we want to create, is to create that music with a high vibration and with a positive message, and also with the art, create art that will get people to think about spirituality, get people to think about their ideals and their beliefs, and sort of expand them and become more open-minded.
For sure. I know art's definitely a visual platform to get people just open-minded and thinking and connected. But there's just something about music itself too that just really like connects on a different level. I feel like maybe it's just because I can't do it as easily. So I'm like super fascinated with the way the music just kind of like magically grabs people.
Yeah, music really broke me out of my shell, because before like 2012, before 3 Days of Light, I was very shy. I didn't really dance much unless if I had, a few beers. All right, he's got a little baby with him. Hello, babies.
Say hi. Hi.
Look at his.
Yes, dancing is also huge. I think that can really shake us out of our cocoons. I remember, I used to be too cool to dance, listening to metal. Yeah, that's not really very metal. It's
Right.
dance.
Right.
But when you feel it, you gotta move, and when you're happy and your heart is just open and alight. He's got a little fuzz head. He just woke up from his nap. Say hello.
Hi, baby.
So does your baby like to dance?
A little bit, yeah.
he's just like wondering what's going on here.
He's like, I'm on TV. This is awesome.
Trying to figure it out. Those are friends. Hi, friends.
He's the youngest one we've had on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
You beat Cord and Lyric.
Good friends of ours. Good friends.
Love them.
Yeah. Cord and I have been on a spiritual journey, shared a lot of our spiritual journeys together since we were real young. We grew up together.
Oh, nice.
I actually met you and Cord together for the first time at Rootwire this year. I have a picture of you guys, and you're both all squinty because the sun's just like barely rising over the like mountains at Sunshine. Yeah. I think Ashton and Skywalker were on stage, and it was definitely a magical experience. That was a spiritual journey all on its own. Selena was going around and blessing everybody, and
that was an particularly intense sunrise for sure.
Definitely. I met Drew Foria and several other people. Definitely a very interesting time.
Mosquitoes coming in.
Oh. He's so cute.
That is a cute baby. So, what was it like? What was it like when your son was born? Did it change you in any way?
Oh man, it's so amazing in so many ways, and I was really so happy and ready and blessed to have him, and yeah, he's an awesome little guy. It's like, it sounds kind of cheesy, but it really is like learning to love all over again, because it's a totally different kind of love. It's like discovering a new part of your heart.
Yeah. That's neat. I really enjoy seeing people go from, like myself, I don't have any children, and then when they have these children, it's just like this whole nother energy comes over them.
Yeah. One of my cousins is pregnant, and she was like one of the last people I expected to get pregnant out of like our generation, and she's like so excited, and there's like such a change in her. And a couple of my friends recently too. Just that time of year, I suppose.
Spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things happening.
Life. He was a spring baby. He just had his first birthday on Sunday.
Nice. Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
His birthday.
The resurrection, y'all.
That's crazy.
That is so cool. So we did want to talk about some of your poetry, and tell us about your poetry.
Writing poetry was a big part of my spiritual awakening as well. Really helped me to explore my consciousness and ideas, and just like when I first started writing, I was 12 years old, and sometimes I would just write this stuff, and I would be like, I have no idea where it came from, and I would go back and read it, and I'd be like, what? And it would always be like some crazy spiritual shit, and really helped me gain a different perspective and a new understanding to my life and my future and possibilities.
Yeah, and do you have any of the poetry that you can share at this moment?
Sure. I do, of course, yes. I actually have one of my books right here. Plug myself shamelessly.
Do it. Let's see it.
Temple.
Where can people find it? How can people find you?
You could just hit me up on Facebook. My name is Remedy Comyn, Comyn. I think you can also find me through my real name on Facebook, Jordan Cody. I also did the cover art. Wow.
Really sweet art.
And I have a lot of these books. $5. I just want to get them out there,
For sure. If you give us a link on how people can buy them or PayPal you too, we would love to add that to the Project Bring Me to Life website, where people can also find you through the links that we have for you. So,
I have an Etsy. I should put these up on there.
yeah, for sure. I love Etsy. I woke up to a sale this morning and it just made my day.
Boom.
I have this little app and it says cha-ching, and I'm like, that's way better than an alarm.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll just read this one. I feel like it's a little bit relevant to what we're talking about here. And I wrote this one when I was pretty young. I think this one was definitely a big part of my awakening.
Can't wait.
And actually, there are a couple lines in it at the very end from Chord. It's called New Breed. We the liberated find this role you'd have us play for the release of your karmic baggage far too much to ask of us, because now we've got our own agenda. Differences may be the only gaps between, but no distance to travel at all when you know how to fly. No one has to die, and we will not be crucified, because there's nothing wrong with the look that's in our eyes. We hold this systematic structure at arm's length to fill this hallowed void with the pulse of guiltless pride, because we built something beautiful here tonight. A temple inside keeps the eyes open wide, the face of beauty that holds no judgment, knowing all of this stems from thee. Grips may shift reality from broken, bloody, and unconscious on the sidewalk, but only you can pick yourself up and learn to fly. Clench your fists and grit your teeth, whatever you must do to keep this together, to keep your fortress whole through the purifying storm. Just stay standing on the plateau we hold in the hands of chaos. Disorderly shamans defying the winds, clinging to the shadows, and floating like the spirits above sheep-filled masses, found that nothing moves, so to speak, a masquerade of dreams through empty rooms, because since we've been in this house, we've found a few, a bundle of empty space entwined with confineless life, radiating seamless tides, emanating wings of light.
Beautiful.
Nice. Your baby is in the background.
He's like dancing or doing something. You got a kitty to your side. You're surrounded by awesome right now. That was
Yeah.
a good piece.
Yeah. Awesome.
Really?
And about awesome all the time.
So how did you get into writing poetry?
School, love, reading. I always liked books. My mom, she was an English professor, and I was surrounded by good literature growing up, and it just kind of started exploding out of me as soon as I made any attempt at it.
Yeah, I was walking around in Rootwire, I believe, and I had this book that somebody gave me, and I ended up just walking around to random people and asking them to sort of write some poetry in it, and it's really cool to see how many people were into that and how many people enjoy poetry, enjoy reading poetry, and enjoy writing poetry.
Yeah, it's a really cool book too. Some people did them upside down. Some people drew pictures. Some people wrote encrypted messages, but still poetic messages, and it's a very interesting combination on how everybody kind of put their twist on it.
You know what? That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's wonderful.
Sometimes you would just leave it places, and people would like take a hint and like write something in it. We got a couple random and stuff too. Some people thought it was an autograph book, but
We should do that at every festival
yeah.
and like put it on Project Bring Me to Life. Be like, poem from Rootwire Jam Sauce.
Yeah, we could probably take pictures of it and like have like an online book.
Yeah, just have a book.
Even better.
Things are manifesting. All this way.
Do it. I'll contribute. I'll totally do it at whatever festival I'm at.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know any festivals that you are going to this year?
Definitely going to All Good. Was just talking to Cord about going to play this festival with him in Alabama. I don't know what it's called.
No.
I think I'm going to do that.
That sounds interesting. In Alabama, I
What was it?
don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about a festival in Alabama.
What was it? Hangout?
No, he said, and then
That's the crazy thing. There's festivals everywhere.
right.
There's festivals everywhere. I've been to some weird festivals, some little tiny festivals, some big nonsense festivals, and it's crazy to see the different people and different modes of consciousness and how open and willing people are to experience some crazy stuff.
Which festival in Alabama did you say you were going to? I'm sorry, I was holding on the chat and I missed it.
I don't know the name of it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know there's one called the Hangout in Alabama, and it's like right along some sort of water.
I've been to that. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool because it's right on the beach. It is in the sand, but there's a fence, so you can't get in the water unless you go outside of the festival and then around to the water, which makes sense. Safe. Can't have a whole festival full of people swimming in the ocean, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's
whatever. But yeah, it was fun. Except for like walking around in the sand all day, it's really tiring.
Right.
Yeah, it takes a lot more work than you realize, especially when shoes are filled with sand or your feet are hot because of the sand, I'm sure.
Well, even just like the actual, like what you don't realize, but the motion of your feet on the sand, and like it's harder for your legs. Rock on sand. Because it's all shifting as you're walking. Shifty crazy.
So this shift right now is like it's hitting me pretty hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of new things happening.
A lot of new things happening, a lot of just craziness. So
I think the universe is definitely trying to put us all on our game and test us and see what we're made of and put us where we're needed and
For sure.
really push our boundaries.
Yeah,
Got
there's
that right.
crazy cosmo energy and all kinds of different things with the eclipses and just all kinds of pushes. The universe is doing some crazy things.
Yeah. I went from like having so much free time that it was ridiculous. Now, like, I have maybe an hour when I get home to do something, and then I have to go back to a different job.
Or to sleep, which you don't get much of.
Yeah, good to take naps.
Yes, I know how that is, for sure.
Yeah, like you said, though, it does push your boundaries, and it does, build character. And
Oh, definitely.
it's something that, what helps me get through it is just sort of being thankful for the experience and knowing that it's not gonna always be this way, and just, saying thank you for this, and I'm gonna learn from it, and thank you for the lessons and the experiences. Try not to judge them.
Right. It's hard, but important to be very Buddhist about those tests and those struggles. Just like, let it come and see it as what it is and let it go, not hold on to it.
Mhm. And is there anything that you wanted to touch on that we haven't gotten to?
I mean, I would like to just maybe talk about some like meditative experiences and kind of the
We would love to hear about that. What gets you in your comfy space?
insights and ideas that we can get from those kind of spaces. Like what do you guys do that can put you in your in touch, that can make you feel good?
I'm definitely a big a candle burner and sage burner. I like to do that before I meditate and just like surround and cleanse my space with those energies, and then just kind of like chill for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. For me personally, I listen to audiobooks. I like reading a lot, but sometimes I don't want to hold a book in front of my face. I just want to like lay back and listen. And so, I found this site that you can use with your mobile device, and I've been listening to Sherlock Holmes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which, I don't know, just listening to an audiobook I love it.
Yeah, I mean, because reading or just getting into a story in whatever form can really help you let go of your own reality.
Yeah, it's nice to sort of just take a break and get away from all the worries and anxieties.
Yeah, I miss having time to read as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Some we'll do when we're gray beard and white hair.
Yeah, I'm already working on the white hair. But yeah, so what I also do card readings and I different like intuitive things for other people, which help me get into a really interesting divine space for myself. What kind of practices or things do you get into that helps you find that creative space or that divine connection?
I enjoy crystals.
I love this.
I feel like they can each bring some energy to the experience. And I feel like they're all so different, like super drastically.
The sounds, not the,
You're silly.
I just want to, some people might be like, oh. So the, like, crystal stones, not...
What's your favorite crystal?
Oh, that depends on the situation. I'm an Aquarius, so amethyst really resonates with me for just the day-to-day goodness and making me feel awesome. if I want to get like really out there and have some super intense visions, Moldavite can really facilitate some crazy stuff. I like because I'm such a spaced out person in general. Like I can't wear Moldavite or have it on me. It just I'll be like I used to have this Moldavite necklace, and I was just so spaced out anytime that I would wear it. People could be like, Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. And I'd be like, oh, what? Sorry. Like, dude, I was saying your name for like a minute.
That's
But
awesome.
I like Larimar a lot, which is kind of a slightly lesser known stone. It's
Tell
like
me more
this
about
real
that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of
I haven't heard of that one.
Laminar.
I love it.
Larimar.
Larimar.
It's like a really light blue, and it's only comes from this 1 kilometer square kilometer area in the Dominican Republic, and it has this very, very calming energy, and it's very. I feel like it puts me in touch with dolphin energy. Dolphins are cool. I like dolphins.
Dolphins are pretty sweet. I think malachite's probably one of my favorite crystals. This is close second.
Malachite?
Yeah, malachite's definitely one of my favorites.
I love malachite. I love like globular, unpolished malachite. Have you seen any pieces like that?
I've seen like a couple of unpolished pieces. I have a nice chunk that's not polished, but you're actually not supposed to mess with unpolished malachite too much. People say it's toxic, but I have a piece and I love it. So
Radioactivity, whatever.
yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, it's supposed to absorb radiation, but that's only if it's been around radiation. And the standards on testing stuff for radiation, because irradiated quartz and stuff is like crazy looking, but radioactive. So like if it's imported, it's actually tested for radiation. But if it's from the U.S., the testing isn't as strict. So if you get like irradiated quartz that came from the U.S., you might want to be careful with that. Yeah, don't eat it or anything.
He's adorable.
But, azurite. Are you familiar with azurite?
Yes.
If you like malachite.
Yes, I have a piece. It's like I call it my it's kind of like an arrowhead because it's like a triangle and it's a malachite azurite combination.
Right. It's weird how like I think crystals are just so interesting to see how like over time and with different amounts of like heat and pressure they'll have like different formations and colors and energies. And so like it's weird to see how malachite goes from green, rounded shapes, banded, and then like transforms into dark blue azurite with its like points and crystals and stuff.
Have you ever heard of ametrine?
Yeah.
It's like amethyst and ametrine combination. That's a new one to me. About a month or so ago.
Those are cool. There's what is in there? There's this stuff called Super Sevens. Have you ever heard of those?
Yeah, I have a really tiny little itty bitty flower that's supposed to be a Super 7, but I'm not 100% sure it is, but it's still really cool. I've studied it a little bit. Tell us more about what you know about it.
It's been a while since I've seen a piece, but it's amethyst and citrine as well as some other minerals, right?
I think so. Yeah, there's 7 different crystals, or minerals. I can't remember what all goes into it, but it's supposed to be like one of the most powerful healing stones. And all kinds of
and one of them is like one of the minerals is the minerals that makes smoky quartz.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could remember all of them, but like every piece in existence, it's super rare. So like every piece is like basically museum
Yeah.
grade.
I have is like this big. It was like $80, and I was like trading and doing some crazy stuff because I really wanted a piece of Super 7, and I don't get to enjoy it as much as I would like to because I'm always like babying it and taking care of it because it's super precious, but really cool.
I used to have this piece of alexandrite, which is like another really rare, powerful stone.
That's
Are you familiar with that? Have you ever seen that stuff?
What color is it, or what's it like?
It's got that kind of color shifting, like labradorite or like moonstone, but it's also more gemmy, like a really nice amethyst, and it changes colors from like blue to purple to red. Super.
That sounds really cool. Labradorite's one of my favorites too. And one of my friends, he brought through a piece of Sarah stone. It was another one that's similar to the Super 7, where it's made out of several different minerals, and it's supposed to be like super healing and super positive vibes. It's like brownish, more naturally toned colors.
Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah. Like the song, Sarah.
Sarah, wherever you'll be, I'll be.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I like crystals too.
What's your crystal? Good
job. When I was first really starting to get to understand my personal spiritual mission and really explore the power of meditation, my grandmother had given me this piece of moldavite, and my grandma was super awesome, which I didn't realize until I was already 15, 16, and was kind of on my spiritual path, that she was like a super spiritual person. I didn't have a lot of contact with her when I was younger, but it's just always so cool to find somebody in your family that's open-minded and into meditation stuff. She gave me this piece of moldavite, and I had some super intense meditations with that stuff when I was kind of trying to understand where we came from as a race. And I was reading a lot of stuff that had opinions and thoughts about that, and I was meditating with this moldavite and kind of just trying to push myself back and see myself where we came from. And I feel like I did my meditation, had this intense vision, and it started with this this white owl flying down from this super green hill, and then I seen Venus, and Venus was civilized. There was life on Venus, and it was not doing so hot. It was they knew Venus was not going to be able to sustain life for a whole lot longer or something, and they wanted to take what they had known and and create life or do something. And I feel like a lot of our knowledge and potentially where life came from on the Earth is from Venus. I think maybe it's kind of out there, but that's where moldavite came from. Is they shot it into the Earth? That sounds crazy, but launched it, and it kind of it's tektite, so it fused with the surface of the Earth, and it's the only tektite that's ever, the only meteorite that ever hit the Earth and created a green tektite. And I think that is what brought carbon into our atmosphere and ultimately enabled the existence of cellular life and like I feel like rain. I feel like that brought rain, and then like the storms, like when the planet was first forming, and the rain would fall and catch early primitive carbon molecules in it and hit the weird surface of the Earth, like weird molten surface of the Earth, and trap these little bubbles to create cellular life. I don't know if that's insane or what. But.
Venus is Venus before Mars?
I think they're on either side of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other cool thing about your dream is Athena, who's one of the goddesses. She relates really strongly with the owl. She actually always has an owl with her, and she was born on one of the 4 moons of Venus. And she was said to bring like all these spiritual new energies and different things to our world through owls, and that's why owls are supposed to be so wise. So it's really cool that your dream had Venus and owls in it. And Venus is really active right now, so the fact that you brought that up is super cool, and we'll be talking about that in our energy forecast at the end. Because Venus is actually, it's supposed to be like putting us all into super speed mode and getting things done, while Jupiter kind of goes back into direct motion. So Venus is doing some crazy things right now.
Venus, I feel like, has always done some pretty serious work for us.
Sure.
And at the beginning, a few weeks ago, when there was a crescent moon, and Venus was like right there, next to the moon. That was a super intense energy portal for me.
Yeah.
And I was outside experiencing that and feeling like this super strong push towards my goals. I realized there's this Grateful Dead song, Terrapin Station, where he's talking about from the northwest corner of a brand new crescent moon, the spiral light of Venus rising first and shining best. And I felt like that was relevant, what I was experiencing. Crickets and cicadas sing a rare and different tune. Terrapin Station!
Yeah, I never heard the name Grateful Dead until 2012, and people were like, "What?" I was like, "Who's this Grateful Dead you keep talking about?" What?
I actually had one best friend, and her entire family were Deadheads, and she was like our festy friend who like went to festivals her whole life, and she'd always talk about them. And there was a couple of us that would be like, "What are you talking about?" And then like 2012 is when I got really into them as well. But I
just had this guy in his mouth.
Ooh, lovely. He had an alien. He just pulled an alien out of his mouth. Is that what that is?
It's a frog.
Oh, it looks like an alien from my screen.
Frog alien, you know. Frogs, dolphins, owls, they're all aliens.
That's right, they are.
I feel like
Yeah, the Swagstock was my first festival. It was all about Grateful Dead cover bands and.
Swagstock?
So that's kind of how I got introduced to festival culture, was like older heads and Grateful Dead. So if I'm rocking a Grateful Dead, Flower of Life jam right here.
I think I have that same pin. But yeah,
Boom.
really got me into it too. My first festival was actually a Jerry's Bash birthday party, and it was like the week before my 21st birthday. And all these
Up over at Sunshine Daydream?
Yes, exactly where it was.
I almost went to that last year. I've been meaning to look into that. Is it a nice place?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was definitely a fun festival. It was the same place Rootwire was where I met you, and I was actually going to go to Jerry's Bash last year too, but it was the same week as Imminent Disclosure, so I ended up in Michigan and had a crazy time there as well. And that was my first Michigan festival, and it was definitely worth the change of scenery. But Jerry's Bash was fun.
That was a nice little small festival of good people.
Yeah.
I liked Imminent a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Got me out of my shell a lot. That was my first experience, like, really far away from home at, like, one of the craziest times of my life. So, yeah, it was definitely a good time. For sure.
For sure.
So, I also kind of wanted to just, I don't know, ask you guys about your missions and see where you guys were at, because I know that you guys, I saw a while back that you guys had learned some Reiki, and that's something I'm super interested in studying, the healing arts and holistic health,
For sure.
different stuff like that, incorporating it into art.
Yeah. When did we get our Reiki one?
We got our Reiki one in the end of September, and then we got our Reiki 2 in about October or November, I think. No, it was December, because we took Ashton home. So we got our Reiki 1 in September and our Reiki 2 in December, and we're practitioners, and I have a Reiki table, and I'm looking for like people to help and give sessions to and different things. I did a couple distance Reiki sessions, which were kind of interesting. A lot of fun, but yeah.
Yeah, I noticed a difference after I got attuned. That I feel when I like have the intention to do Reiki, like automatically my hands are just like beaming out this. And sometimes like she's felt it when I like put my hand, to do Reiki. It just gets so hot.
He's a very natural Reiki healer. Even before he was attuned, he was really good at I don't know, manipulating energy into helping others. So he's very natural at it. I enjoy it. I like keeping things around to help with the energy flow because I'm a fire sign. So that's kind of my thing. Really cool, and I like to incorporate crystals into my Reiki work too.
Yeah, I've always been told that I should get into Reiki because I have hot hands, and because I have like lots of energy coming from my hands.
Yeah.
And the little bit I've played with it, like with other people who are practitioners, and it's just like it's really intense and emotional. All the things I enjoy. Connecting spiritually with people, it can be very amazing and connective.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I think that you would enjoy it a lot. We'll have to make sure that the next event or something we're at, we'll get a big Reiki circle going. Because once you get like a couple people doing it, like you'll have like a whole field of people like, oh, I want Reiki, oh, let me give you some, and then it's just like this energy bubble that just grows. Pretty intense.
Last year, on my girl and I's second anniversary, we were at this festival, and the night before I was like going around trying to get her a couple things, and met this lady who was a Reiki practitioner, and she had like dream catchers and super awesome jewelry that she had made. And I got a couple of those for her, and I was like, hey, it's our anniversary tomorrow. Will you give us a treatment? And then we went back the next morning, and Remy was with us. Yeah. And she did him first, and it was crazy. He was super tiny still, and she was like, watch, now he's going to shiver in a second. And a second later, he was like, and she was like, it was super awesome. Older lady, like, had been doing it for a long time. and just super intense. And then when she got to us, both of us were just weeping puddles of. It was intense. It was really amazing experience. And as soon as I put it out there to the universe that like I was hearing that calling, that's what I wanted to study and do. Like last year, I met a bunch of Reiki practitioners and had some really cool experiences.
You said a bancho?
A bunch.
Oh, I thought I heard.
A bunch of Reiki teachers and healers.
I need to listen better.
But yeah, that's awesome. I kind of did the same thing. I feel like Reiki is one of those things, like once you put out the calling for it, it's going to come to you. I was trying to go to a Reiki, like a class almost for like kind of like a year. And every time I would schedule it, like something would happen and it would get rescheduled or it would get canceled. And I just kept saying, well, when I'm actually ready and able to experience what I need to experience with it, it'll all come to me. And like it was actually like a year ago exactly when I started to like really super get into it. I was supposed to go to a class exactly a year ago, and then it got canceled, and then I was just like, you know what? When it happens, there's going to be a divine reason. And then I didn't really want to go to the experience myself. And he came, and he was like, I'm really interested in Reiki, so we ended up getting our first Reiki attunements together and our second attunements, and it was definitely an intense experience. So I recommend that if your girl's into it, or if anyone that's listening to the podcast is interested in it, find a friend or close somebody and like go and enjoy that experience together, because it's really an intense ride, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
There's this school here that I would really like to go to. It's Holistic Health Career Institute, I think is what it's called, and they just have classes for all kinds of stuff like color therapy and cranial sacral and aromatherapy and homeopathic stuff. I'm so interested in all of that. I feel like a lot of the healing that we all have to do and that the earth needs is emotional healing, and I feel like those kinds of healing arts are key.
That's what we're working for with Project Bring Me to Life. We just recently built ourselves a nice business plan to get us going in the right direction, and what we're aiming for is in about 5 years, or hopefully less, but at least 5 years, we have a plan for to get a school building and to get more of the youth in the surrounding area and anyone interested into like a holistic healing kind of center or space. So that is what Project Bring Me to Life is building towards.
Find it on the 5-year plan on her website.
Yeah, we have a button about it. So that's one of those things. Under the new page, which says Our Story, there's a button for the 5-year plan, and there'll be a 5-year plan button on the left-hand side, I believe, as soon as we do just a few more minor updates.
Uh-oh, plans are good. Like, yeah, that's Venus is like, come on.
Yeah. Between Venus and Jupiter right now, Jupiter's going direct, and it's like, okay, I've been going backwards for a while now, so now it's time to move forward. You had 5 months to think about it, so now it's everything goes super fast mode.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's an Aries. Remy. His ruling planet is Jupiter. Right? No, Mars. I'm wrong.
I think it's Mars.
My Jupiter is in Aries. That's why I think that. What are your signs?
I have a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. I'm trying to think of my rising. I don't remember
what yours is. I know I'm a Leo sun sign and a Scorpio moon. So.
I'm a Scorpio moon.
Nice. Scorpio moons for the win. Everyone tries to tell me that Scorpio moons are crazy. I think we're just awesome. It's a Scorpio moon right now, by the way. It's a Scorpio moon at like 85%.
Is that why it's so hot in here?
I think it's just been an interesting day.
It's a Scorpio moon.
It's either mosquitoes, we're either going to get bit or we're going to get really hot.
I could end up being bit.
I have a couple other friends who are Scorpio moon signs. Cord's girlfriend
Hi.
is a Scorpio moon also. I'm an Aquarius.
Johnny from Love is Afterlife is a Scorpio moon, I think. I think that's what you're telling me. Yeah.
This elf guy. He's a Scorpio moon.
Nice. Beautiful. So, getting back to just kind of rounding things up a little bit. Is there anything else you'd like to touch on, or anybody you'd like to give a shout out, or maybe your favorite song of yours that we should be telling people to listen to and check you out? Other than the one we played on our radio show, which everyone should also check out and hear your awesome music.
I think if you're going to check that one out, The Tree and the Caterpillar. I'm definitely super grateful to you guys for playing that. And yeah, anybody go give it a listen. Please let me know what you think. I'll be coming with some new tunes soon. Yeah, look for me around. If you ever see me at a festival, let's talk. Let's share some moments.
Yeah, under the music tab on the website, projectbreamlife.com, there's the Remedy. You just click on Remedy, and I have all of your links, all of his links, and the SoundCloud is there, so you can check out all the songs right on the website. So make sure you do that.
For sure.
I was thinking maybe I could share one more poem with you guys before we leave.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
He's gonna help. You gonna help? Alright. This one's called Within Me. Christened by crystallized dreams, a voice calls me from my sleep, and still this image stays with me. Like a wind-kissed wave, I float on by this white flower. Something behind it stares deep into me. By and by, something to get through. Only love is true. A gift, I say, for you. This has to be real. Eyes as wide as the sky and beckoning. I lift my chalice with you. I dance for you. And I sing my song to you. All within a night that knows no end. She's bright, shines and smiling, says, finally, one more time again, I will see you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for being on the show. We definitely really appreciate it, and it's good to see you and your face and your son.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was nice join your whole crew again.
Let's do some stuff this summer.
For
Let's
sure.
connect. Let's wear everybody. Reiki circle, poetry, collaboration.
You're located in Michigan, is that right? Am I wrong?
I'm
Where are
in
you located
Columbus.
right now?
I'm
Sebas?
in Columbus.
Nice.
I'm in Michigan a lot, but I live in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice. You should check out Metamorphosis, which is the last. Is that what the name of it now?
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, the last weekend of May up in
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor, and then also there's Near Infinity on May 9th, and that's in Michigan too. So if you're going to be up there either of those weekends, you should check those out.
All right. I think other than all good, I'm definitely going to do Resonance this year. And yeah, I'll check those out. What was the second one you said?
There's Near Infinity on May 9th, and then there's Meta on May 31st. And if you're deciding to go back to Sunshine Daydream or Rootwire was it all this year, let us know, because that's pretty close by.
Yeah, is there anything cool that I should check out there?
I'm not sure they have their full lineup yet, So when they get that, I'll let you know. I know there's one coming up, but I'm not sure of the exact date yet.
I liked that property a lot. That was a really nice place.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I love it there. It's, like I said, it's my first festival grounds and really close to home.
That's home for you, huh?
Yeah, home for me. But,
He's waving. He's waving. Say bye.
bye, baby. No. Well, it was nice having you, and I think we're gonna shift to our energy forecast.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so we'll have anyone check you out, like we said, on Remedies page, projectbermudalife.com, and he has a book. So if you're interested in some poetry, get a hold of us, and we can connect you with him if you can't find out how to connect with him yourself.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
We love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
So, did you want to go first with your
Energy forecast?
energy forecast?
I can. There's a lot of different things happening. Go ahead and get that.
All right, so you get your energy forecast. Actually, I have to. Did you want me to screen share it?
If you can, well, actually, I used the awesome new picture of you by Melissa Henk for my.
So then I'll do that.
Yeah. Awesome. So this week's energy forecast is very interesting. For the beginning of April, we started off last week with a full lunar eclipse, which was held on the same weekend as Passover and Easter. So there was some very interesting different religious holidays mixing with astrology. But this week, things are being shifted by, like I said earlier, a high gear Venus just taking over, and Jupiter is going back to a direct motion. So as we gear up for the high-speed week or so, the kickoff will be on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, April 8th, and Jupiter's 5-month retrograde is now going direct, as I said, and it'll be the first time that Jupiter will be moving forward this year, which is said to be a lucky time for many of us. Jupiter going direct is a sign of a happier and more abundant future making its way into our realities. With a healthier economy, positive strings are being pulled in very important directions. Lucky for me and the rest of the Leos, this is a time said to be especially lucky for the Leo and other sun signs. Leos are to feel a burst of energy and positive movement forward, and I personally can vouch for that as well. The past couple weeks I was feeling a little bit down, and like the past 48 hours I've been super energized and things are happening for sure. And the Sun will be meeting up with Mercury for a conjunction the second time this year on April 9th, and this time it's in Aries. And this also means that Mercury is the furthest from the Earth in its direct motion currently. This conjunction is known to give us all a burst of adrenaline and can help get things moving in the right direction, be it financially, romantically, through travel, or the completion of a long-term project which is opening space for something new and improved within you. So that's a lot happening. And on April 11th, the shift from Venus will happen from Taurus into Gemini. And this combination means that diversity is super important to us right now. So 2 or 3 of anything may start to seem way better than one, but just be careful with decisions and let the divine help you with your influences and within the next few weeks. And remember that each decision has its own reactions and consequences. So be very aware of your surroundings and where you're moving forward and what you're focusing your time on. And as for the moon, we're currently at about an 85% waning gibbous in Scorpio. And Scorpio moons lead to mischievousness and contemplation and also growth in shadow areas. So that's a plus for it at least. And that's just what I've got going on for the energy forecast right now. And I'm grateful to share it, and I'm excited for this burst of energy after a long wait.
I would love to have a burst of energy right now.
Yeah, I think part of the reason you are lacking a burst of energy is you're doing a lot of things at once, and I'm surprised at how well you were balancing them. So your energy is definitely more there than you realize.
There's a split second where I'm like, I just want to quit everything.
But you can't.
No, I know I can't. And yeah, I'm gonna stick through it, and I know it's not gonna last very long. And see, I got bit, and the window is closed. Sorry. See how crazy I'm being right now?
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting podcast. We've been a little bit all over the place today.
Ah, bam! Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Yep.
She's looking at me like she wants to kill me right now. So, let me give you my solar flare update. Which means by doing a lot is just I've had about 2 hours sleep in the last 2 days. So, please excuse me for anything that may not seem very professional, but I'm giving it all I got. So we've only had 11 solar flares since last Tuesday. 3 weeks ago we had 72. 2 weeks ago we had around 50. Now we only have 11. Sunspot 2320 has become beta gamma and could break the quiet streak. If it does, anytime, if it has a solar flare anytime in the next 24 hours, it will be likely to contact Earth as the sunspot is facing us. But just, if I could, just for a brief moment, I saw something while this was playing and I wanted to kind of point it out. When there's a solar flare, there's a little disc in the center of it. And right there it is. I can zoom in on this. So we're looking at this spot right here. And if I can start it, you can see it go that way. Okay, so just pay attention. Sometimes that happens in the solar flares. And, you know, I won't say for sure that it's a UFO, but I will just leave that possibility up in the air. So the solar wind is decreasing. Last week it rose to about 500 kilometers per second, but now it's lowered again to 400 kilometers per second. And there's a possibility that high-speed streaming from a coronal hole will occur between April 9th and April 10th. So we could see the solar wind increasing once again, increasing the possibilities of the aurora borealis. And it's a quiet week. You know, there hasn't been too many solar flares with the sun. A few of them producing 1 CME right there, but not too much. So take this time to really reflect, and as Shannon was saying, it's, you know, it's a time to sort of work on our shadow sides, and it's been coming up a lot, especially the last few days for me, is working on that shadow self and just feeding loving compassion into it and non-judgmentalness. So thank you all for listening to my solar flare update.
Nice job.
You want me to get your card readings now?
That'd be awesome, because the card reading goes right along with what we were just talking about between the solar flares and the cosmic energy craziness. It's definitely an interesting spread, especially since I got to use my brand new card deck that I was gifted this past weekend, which I'm super grateful for. I received a Angel Dreams card reading deck and a Reiki Bible, which I should have mentioned when we were talking about Reiki with Remedy. I'm really excited about both of those new tools. They're beautiful, and I'm grateful for them. But as he gets it up, I'll go ahead and start my card reading. I did a 3-card pull for this week, and these cards are a little bit different. They don't have the normal the normal images that a lot of the spreads and different decks I use have. They also include crystals, and this spread's really interesting to me because we pulled 2 crystals, and with our guests just being so into crystals, I think that that's very divine happening. And so we start out with the fire opal, and the fire opal is just here to share adrenaline and confidence as well as sensuality. And fire opal also opens the channels to creativity, passion, confidence, and so much more. And this card is asking us to connect with pleasure and blend more love into your experience. It's time to let go of the shyness and really branch out and shine like an opal. They're so sparkly and usually multicolored, especially fire opals. They're all about that fire inside. And it's a time to allow yourself to enjoy life by releasing self-conscious feelings. The divine encourages you to do things that makes you feel sensual and accepted and loved and happy. It's a good time to listen to loud music, burn candles and incense safely, dance around in your favorite outfit or lack thereof for that matter. Set the mood and really allow your confidence to grow. It's spring and everyone's getting them warm, fuzzy feelings, and it's just a really great time to experience all that new beginnings. Know the archangels Hanuel and Ariel are here guiding us all strongly, and they're the keepers of this card and the fire opals. So just really embrace them. The second pull is the premonition card, which is already one of my favorites in this deck. This card shows itself as a reminder to listen to your visions and your dreams, and these internal and external signals are being given to you for a reason. So trust your instincts and the ability to know and see and feel, and just accept what is happening around you and within you. Allow the divine to channel through you at all times, and the angels are here to help you connect with that too. Remember that premonitions are to be respected, and a message is trying to come through to you, and you're really being prepared for the next event that's happening in your life. So don't choose to ignore it. Choose to embrace it instead, and really just let that flow and believe in yourself and your intuition. The last pull is the selenite card, which is another crystal, which is coming to inspire us all to become more spiritually active. Selenite is an amazing crystal that does not need charged, for it charges other crystals by its presence. Selenite is also used to help clear, cleanse, and balance the chakra systems. Selenite is a magical stone that can act as a magic wand of sorts, as it charges generally any one or thing that comes into contact with it, not just other crystals. And I personally have a really big piece of selenite that I keep in my car for protection during travels, and I use it to help cleanse people's aura when I do reiki treatments. The selenite card also shows itself to remind you that your intention is powerful. So be clear and be honest with yourself, and just really focus on what your intentions are that you're putting out into the world. Your thoughts are being carried out into the universe to help you manifest your current surroundings. All in all, the angels are here saying that it is time to move forward. Things are happening for a reason, and you're meant to be a part of a bigger purpose. So really reach for the stars and shine bright. And I'm really excited to share my new deck with you, and I am looking forward to doing more readings for anyone interested. So feel free to contact me and check back in next week for next week's reading. And that's all I got this week.
Beautiful. And we're back. Yes, it's been super interesting. It's different for me to have so many things going on all at the same time, where I only have like an hour to get everything ready for this and that. So, you know, this is something that I am noticing may be a weakness within my character, and need to use it to strengthen myself and to become a better human being and a better civilian and a better piece of this puzzle that we all share together.
That being said, you're still doing a lot. And speaking of doing a lot, we worked really hard to update the website for you guys. Made it a lot prettier and easily navigatable. Is that a word? I made it a word.
Navigatable.
Yeah, it's should be easier for you guys to navigate around.
Yeah.
We added a staff page and our purpose, where we're growing with Project Bermuda Life, and a couple other things, and we would love some feedback on that. And if you're listening to us via Spreaker rather than the website, go ahead and check us out on www.projectbringmetolife.com, because we would love to have you. We also have a live chat and lots of awesome people that join us.
Yes. Just make sure you check out that 5-year plan.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're doing it.
That's where we would like to take this project.
So true, and we need everybody else's help to do that, because this project is about bringing everyone to life, not just us.
Yes.
That's all I really have for today, and I am grateful for anyone that's listening, especially if you're listening live, because we know it's such a busy time for everybody. So
Yeah.
taking time out to join us really, really matters to us. So we appreciate you,
Yes.
and we are grateful.
Yes, we are very grateful. Can't thank you enough for being here. And next Tuesday we're going to have Brandon
Yes.
from Liquid Sound Theory to speak with us. And he's in Detroit, and he's coming up himself with a school, a conscious living university, he calls it, in Detroit, Michigan. So hopefully we'll get to talk to him about that, get the inside scoop, and see what's going on. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay awake and shine on always.